And the angels were like, yes! And I was like, fuck you, angels, but okay, I guess I'm doing it. Oh, hi. So already an F-bomb. If there are children still present, parents, I'm gonna say it one more time.
Probably 5.
Just get ready. Like, you make the choice. It's gonna be, this is R, like R plus. R rated plus some more R after. It's like S. It's like S rated. Also, we're gonna do comedy with like a 1950s crooner mic. You like that? I feel like I should sing a song. There's no handle. It's just like a big block of metal that I'm gonna. But I have this here so I can pretend that it's normal. I'm just gonna like lean on this like it's normal.
Either that or karaoke mic.
Either that or the plastic karaoke mic that we accidentally brought that doesn't amplify sound. Oh, that reminds me. I have a joke about this. I wasn't gonna do this joke for you guys today, but you reminded me. I love human beings, like normal human beings who are not like performery people. Don't know. I'll put it like you have a complicated relationship with microphones. There's like 3 types of ways people handle microphones when you're not, there's no reason you should know how to handle a mic. Why should you? You're not like at your job on a microphone. Why would you? But normal people, I've noticed you have 3 ways of handling a microphone. One way that I like is like I was at a Baja Fresh recently, making healthy choices. And the woman in the microphone said this. She said, number 42. Number 42. Number 42? No? Nobody? Number 42? You can't hear. You have to say, even though it amplifies, you have to make sound for it to work. The next thing that I love is this. I heard this recently. I was at a bar mitzvah, actually, and there was a gentleman who used the microphone this way. Thank you so much for coming to this bar mitzvah! Without you, what would it be? Would it be about it? It would just be me yelling! Because you don't have to yell, is the point. It amplifies you. And then my favorite kind of normal person usage of microphone, we saw a little bit of it with Betty, who's amazing, and we adore you, Betty. Congratulations again. Sure, clap for Betty. She's amazing. This is my favorite form of microphone use by normal people. This wedding really means a lot to me. And every time I think about coming to the wedding, it's like I couldn't do it without Elisa. I mean, you and everyone here. All together, we make a family. Yeah, it has to be kind of near your mouth. Kind of near your mouth. All right, so some of you know a little bit about me. I'll tell you a few things about me. I'm a recovered alcoholic person, 13 years sober. Thank you very much. Thank you. Used to be big into the drinking and the drugging and all the things that come with that, and the sleeping with whoever made eye contact and that kind of thing. I also grew up in an alcoholic house. My dad was an alcoholic, active alcoholic for a long, long time throughout my childhood. And, I just like to be a voice for, we talk a lot in our culture about all the bad things about being raised by alcoholics. People talk about it all the time, all the bad things, the neglect and the abuse and the drinking, and it's terrible. Nobody talks about the good things. You guys, nobody praises the alcoholic parents of the world. Like, okay, for example, I don't know about any of you, but in my childhood, at one point or another, all of my childhood friends got to see my dad's testicles. Yeah, got to see him. It's something about the combination of doing tequila shots and then passing out in your 1980s runner shorts. Like on the patio, the lanai, in your shiny green 1980s runners that makes testicles just like head for daylight. They just kind of ooze out the side. They become a kind of amorphous, I'm coming to see the sun. This happened, and all my little 6-year-old friends would be over. They'd be like, Katie, your daddy's asleep on the patio. I'm afraid. So you know what a testicle is when you're a 6-year-old? You shouldn't be seeing that. It's the worst thing you could see. It's the worst thing you could see. There's nothing worse than that. That's worse than seeing like a dead animal in the road, or like a severed limb, or like that red thing that comes out of a dog penis. It's worse than even that. I say. I see there's still children here. There's children. I'm just saying, parents. We're not even in the R part yet. My dad gave me some wisdom when I was a kid. Testicle Dad gave me some wisdom that I use to this day. It was very wise, actually. He said this to me when I was far too young to hear anything like this. He said, you know, kid, if there's one thing I could teach you, okay, if there's one thing you gotta know about life, all right, it's everything bad that ever happened to anyone happened because somebody put something they shouldn't have in their mouth. Right? Makes sense. Like, when I was 6, I was like,
I don't understand, Daddy. Are you gonna take your testicles out? I don't understand.
but now it feels like really good advice. It's pretty, right? You put drugs in there, alcohol, you have a problem. You put, you know, too much sugar, too much caffeine, the wrong words could be in your mouth. You put a strange man's genitals in your mouth, you have a problem. You don't want to do any of those things. You have a problem. Things in your mouth. Some of you look disturbed. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna get her to laugh. That's my aim. I got friends over there. I got friends over here. I can feel the friendship there. Yeah. I'm gonna get you. Don't worry. She's like, nah, no, you're not. It's really cute. No, you're not. I am a spiritual person. You guys, I do like really deep kind of esoteric healing practices. I'm really into it. I do several things several times a day. It's how I like recharge my batteries. I went to a 3-year energy healing school. Some of you know this about me. I work with private clients, and I do that whole thing. But I don't seem like a spiritual person. Like people don't meet me and think like, yeah, that's a girl. She's a person who went to a 3-year healing school. I bet she spends a lot of time in private with individual humans, pulling entities out of the back of their heart. Later tonight, she's gonna go home, plug her headphones into her laptop, and listen to an Australian shaman channel the light of God through alien noises like mucko kitty kitty cola kitty kitty cola kitty kitty kitty. People don't think that when they look at me. They don't think it. I start talking, people think lesbian lawyer. They just do. Nothing wrong with lesbian lawyer. I'm just not one. But that's what people think. People think, I hope she will litigate my divorce. Maybe she'll manage my 401k. I don't do those things. That's what people think. I've hung around a lot of people who are like new to spirituality. You know what I mean? A lot of newly sober people, a lot of newly Sufi people. I practice Sufism, a lot of just whatever. Maybe you guys have noticed this. I love when folks who are new to a spiritual practice of any kind, when we're new to it, we're eager, right? We want to do it well, right? So we work really hard. And I love it when people who are new to a spiritual path like over-apply the spiritual lingo to like really inane life shit that doesn't need spiritual lingo on it. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing there, John? Making an enchilada, God willing. Really? You're going to apply the God willing to your enchilada there? Well, you never know what God's plan is, Katie. You never do. Maybe this microwave blows up while I'm making this enchilada, huh? Maybe I lose an eye in the incident. Maybe that opens my heart to the suffering of others. I become a male nurse at a children's hospital. You never know. Which is the kind of thing I like to respond to with my favorite early spiritual phrase-ism that I learned. You know what, John? You may be right. I love you may be right. Do you guys use you may be right? You may be right. You're not committing either way. You know what I mean? You're not saying, you know what, John? You're a dumbass. You're not going to say that to John. You just met John. You're also not saying, you know what, John? I agree with the foolishness that just emitted from your face holes. You're not going to say that. You're not committing. You may be right. I'm not committing. It's very zen and very passive-aggressive all at once. I love it. I love it. There's a thing in recovery that people say, anybody willing to admit they're in recovery, even though that's totally illegal? Okay, everybody, close your eyes. Close your eyes. If you're in recovery, you can clap. Okay, great. Nobody. Fantastic. Recovery, they say this really obnoxious thing to newcomers. They're always like, you know, just keep coming back. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. One day at a time. Keep it simple. Keep coming back. And keep coming back is fine, except there's 2 ways you could say it. There's the cool way and the douchebag way. And people often say it the douchebag way. Like the cool way is like, God, that's a hard problem you're in the middle of. You know what? Just keep coming back. I mean, it gets easier. It takes time. I don't know what to tell you. Just keep coming back. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be okay. You're going to be, it's just keep coming. Just keep coming. That's like the cool way. You have humility, you have whatever. The douchebag way is like, yeah, just keep coming back. People get like spiritually arrogant, you know what I mean? I hate that, spiritual arrogance. I'm going to talk about that more later. I have more things to say about that. Let's see. So one of the reasons I practice spiritual stuff is because I have a challenge with gratitude. I have a hard time with gratitude. It doesn't come easily to me. Like me, for getting me to be, gratitude's like, people come up to you in the street and just be like, Katie, just be grateful for what you have. And I'm always like, I can't snap it into place. Like for me, getting grateful is like turning like a cruise ship around 180 degrees. You can't just like flip a cruise ship around. You gotta like slowly turn the thing and it's heavy and it turns around and then maybe eventually, if you're lucky, you go the other way. That's me in gratitude. I'm usually like in my own ocean liner, slowly turning my attitude around, and then halfway there, I give up because that's too fucking hard. I'll just be negative. It's fucking hard, gratitude.
Why don't you just be grateful for what you have?
Give me like 45 minutes and maybe I fucking will. Calm down. Spiritual people up in my face. Hard time with gratitude. I work on it though. I also have a hard time with just like being content initially with stuff. My mind is always working, right? The mind is always looking for what's wrong and what's not happening and what's not awesome. It's hard. My inner child is very fickle. My inner child is very like, if I'm on an acting project, my inner child wants to be home, secluded, with the doors closed, writing in private, channeling the light, speaking the truth on the paper. So I honor that. I listen to my inner child. I go home, I close the doors, I write, I get very peaceful, I channel the light, and all I want to do is perform when I'm at home. I can't win. It's like I can't, the inner child's fickle. But my inner adult is too codependent to say no. So the inner child just runs the show. She's just fucking running shit. My therapist told me once, she's like, Katie, she doesn't talk like this at all, but she goes, Katie, I like to talk like this, so I'm talking like her because she kind of bothers me. She goes, Katie, you have to honor all the voices inside. You have to think of them like they're all like kids on the bus. And you want to give a voice to all the kids on the bus. You just don't want the child driving the bus. And I'm always like, okay, that's a good theory. I get conceptually where you're going. But let me just clarify the voices that are happening here so we can talk about this. Like in my voices that I have going on in my psyche, I have like a super chilled out Zen hippie spiritualist who's very good at being. Very good at being. Cannot pay the rent. Very good at being. Bee who needs money. We don't care. That's nice. She wears hemp, dreadlocks. It's good. Then I have like my angry ex-Catholic mom introject who just judges everything all the time. Hates you, hates me, anger, Catholicism. It's dark and dirty. She's in there. I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna lie to you. She's in there.
She doesn't drive the bus.
She's in there. She's in there. Then I've got like a wild, manic, creative little genius inner child who's like the most ADD, amazing kid. You're not gonna know buses. My point is, anybody driving this bus is driving it over a cliff and into an institution.